Howdy, folks, and welcome to another day in the Milky Way. I'm glad to be here. By gosh, tonight I want to share with you a good story I found in this new book I got. And here it is. It's an old book. It's called Milestones, and it's illustrated. It's from the 1800s. Yes, I'm not kidding you. It is Milestones: History, Literature, Travel, Mythology, Sculpture, and Art from 1887. Way over 100 and some years old, by gosh. 1887. I don't know, 140, 150 years old, but it's in really good shape. But here's a story, and it's by Henry David Thoreau. Hopefully he didn't put so many big words in there that I can't pronounce them, because you know I have that problem pronouncing those big words. But tonight we're going to do a little bit of story, and it's called The Battle of the Ants. And thanks for all you that are coming and are watching my show, and I'm happy to be here. May I just thank you all for coming. I'm just honored that you take the time out of your schedule to watch me, and so give me a thumbs up, give me a like, and subscribe. Send it to your friends. I'm trying to grow the channel, get the tribe growing, because there's a lot of people out there that need help. Would love to hear these stories, get some information. Just sit back and listen, because I know that's what I would want to do. I listen to a lot of stuff. There's a lot of good people out there. Nina, there's Zarloff, and he tells some good stories. I love listening to Wayne, and he does his stories and books, and I enjoy all of you people. You do your own thing, and it's great. It's wonderful. So don't stop being you. Be the best you possibly can be. That's who I'm being. I'm being the best me. And if it's good or bad, I don't know, but I tend to think it's pretty good. One way or another, I'm going to be me, and that's all I can be. And I would expect that you could be you, the best that you could be too. So with that, remember, be the frequency you want to receive. Now, that ain't all I come here to say, because we're going to read this story of the Battle of the Ants. And, okay, this is called The Battle of the Ants. No, it ain't very long, so we're going to make it short, and then we'll talk about it later, and hopefully I can get through this without stuttering, skipping words, or whatever, or the dogs coming and barking. It says here, The Battle of the Ants. One day, I went out to my woodpile, or rather, my pile of stumps. I observed two large ants and one red ant. The other much larger, nearly half an inch long, and black, furiously contending with another. Having once got hold, they never let go, but the struggling and wrestling, and rolled on its chips incessantly. Looking farther, I was surprised to find that the chips were covered with such combatants that it was not a duelenium, but a millennium, a war between two races of ants, and the red always pitted against the black, and frequently two red ones to one black one. The legions of the Maiadons covered all the hills and vales of my wood yard, and the ground was already strewn with the duel and dying, both red and black. It was the only battle I have ever witnessed, and the only battlefield I have ever trodden. While the battle was raging, interments war, the red Republicans on the one hand, and the black imperialists on the other. On every side, they were engaged in deadly combat, yet without any noise that I could hear, and human soldiers never fought so resolutely. I watched a couple that were fast locked in each other's embraces, in a little sunny valley amid the chips, now at noonday, prepared to fight till the sun went down, or life went out. The small red champions had fastened himself against, or like a vice, to his adversary's front, and through all the tumbling on the field, never for an instant ceased to gnaw at one of his feelers, near the root, having already caused the other to go by the board, while the stronger black one dashed him from side to side, as I saw on my looking nearer, had already divested him of several of his members. They fought with more pertinacity than bulldogs. Neither manifested the least disposition to retreat. It was evident that the battle cry was conquer or die. In the meanwhile, there came along a single red ant, and on the hillside of the valley, evidently full of excitement, who either had dispatched his foes or had not yet taken part in the battle. Probably latter, for he had lost none of his limbs, whose mother had charged him to return with his shield. Or upon it, or perchance he was some Achilles who had nourished his wrath apart and had now come to avenge or rescue his Parculius. He saw the unequal combat from afar, for the blacks were twice the size of the red. He drew near with rapid pace till he stood on his guard within half an inch of the combatants. Then, watching his opportunity, he sprang upon the black warrior and commenced his operations near the root of the right foreleg, leaving the foe to select among his own members, and so there were three united for life, as if a new kind of attraction had been invented, which put all others locks and cements to shame. I should not have wondered by this time to find that they had their respective musical bands stationed on some encampment or imminent ship, and playing their national airs, and while to excite the slow cheering and dying combatants, I was myself excited somewhat, even as they had been men. The more you think of this, the less the difference. And certainly there is not the fight recorded in Concord history, at least if the history of America, that will bear a moment's comparison. And this, whether for the number engaged in it or for the patriotism and heroism displayed. For number, for carnage, it was an Autruitsit and Dresden. Concord fight, 2 killed on the Patriot side, and Luther Balchard wounded. Why, here every ant was a Buttrick. Fire, for God's sake, fire, and thousands shared the fate of Davison Hosmer. There was not one Hilling there. I have no doubt that it was a principle that they fought for as much as our ancestors, and not to avoid the 3-penny tax on their tea. And the result of this battle will be as important and memorable to those of whom it concerns as those of the Battle of Bunker Hill. At least I took up the chip on which the 3 I have particularly described were struggling, carried it into my house, and placed it under a tumbler on my windowsill, in order to see the issues, holding a microscope to the first mentioned red ant. I saw that, though he was assiduously gnawing at the near foreleg of his enemy, having severed his remaining feeler, his own breast was all torn away, exposing what vitals he had there to the jaws of the black warrior, whose breastplate was apparently too thick for him to pierce, and the dark carbuncles of his sufferer's eyes shone with ferocity, such as war only could excite. They struggled half an hour longer under the tumbler, and when I looked again, the black soldier had severed the heads of his foes from their bodies, and the still living heads were hanging on either side of him, like ghastly trophies at his saddle bow. still apparently as firmly fastened as ever, and he was endeavoring with feeble struggles, being without feelers, and with only a remnant of a leg, and I do not know how many other wounds to divers him of them, which at length, after half an hour more, he accomplished. I raised the glass, and he went over the window sill in the crippled state. Whether he survived that combat and spent the remainder of his days in some hotel de invalides, I do not know. But I thought that his industry would not be worth much thereafter. I never learned which party was victorious, nor the cause of the war, but I felt for the rest of the day as I had had my feelings excited and harrowed by witnessing the struggle and the furiosity and the carnage of a human battle before my door. Henry David Thoreau. Well, I hope y'all like that. Big ants a fighting. And I should have put this up. Look at there. I forgot to share my screen. And I had this screen with a big ant on it fighting. There you go. There's my fighting ant. Share. There we go. There. And now you got something to look at. Ha! There you go. The big red ant and black ants and the fighting to beat the band. Look at them go. When they get there, they really hang on. You don't realize because they're really small, and you don't think about, they're just ants. Just ants. We crush them with our foot, but, they're living beings too. They have a purpose. They have lives and things like that. They have an ant mentality. They've been around on this earth a lot longer than we have. Oh, I don't know that much about ants except they bite. They get into things. They eat stuff. All kinds of good things like that. Well, and with that, I hope you enjoyed that. That's for my new book. I really like that book. And maybe we'll share some more stories because that's what it's all about, sharing. My information to you. And if you got comments, anything about ants, maybe you would like a certain topic, let me know. I do enjoy getting emails. The emails are in the description below. Remember to give me a like and a thumbs up or whatever, and share this with other people who may just like to have a good story. Thank you all for being here tonight, and day, night, wherever you are. Thanks you for participating, watching me, taking your precious time to do so. I appreciate it very much. And with that, I'll bid you adieu because I have things to do. And like everybody else, I'm going to go grow my garden and I'm going to go do my things. And I got lots of things to do. I'm always into something. Besides that, I got this really cool book here. This is my book, my cool book to read, which is really thick. It's got gold trim on the edges. Oh, it's so cool. And it's got really cool pictures. Yes, we got everything in this book, from old people, pictures, colored. Oh, geez. Wow, there's everything. It's going to be a fun one. Your field in the forest. We got some really cool pictures, and I'm going to have to figure out how to scan this book off so we can all enjoy the pictures and the wording, because I doubt this is on a PDF somewhere. It was a hard book to come by, and it was kind of rare. So with that, everyone, remember, go out, say hi to somebody, share the love, talk to your neighbor, talk to your family, call your mother, call your father, and if you don't have them, call your children. Nothing else, play with your dog, your cat. And if you don't have one of those, go find your neighbors. Pet them. Be nice to an animal, even if it's a wild one. Invent things. Do stuff. Share with everybody, not just me here. Share with everybody. We're all in this boat together. And remember, with all of that, you got to be the frequency you want to receive. Yes, that's right. Be the frequency you want to receive. Love y'all. Remember, peace, everybody.